Sai Ram. Welcome to Sri Sathya Sai Loka Seva Gurukulam. Today we are going to continue learning the Animalia and Plantae kingdoms. First we will see about the home assignment. The first question asked was explain the general characteristic feature of the flatworm. It is very simple and easy, direct from the lecture material. The body is elongated, they are soft bodied animal and they will show dorso-ventrally flattened worm-like structure without any segmentation. They won't have any body cavity and mostly they are free living or it may be a parasitic organism. They will have suckers hook. This is for the attachment of the parasite to that of the host body. Then they will have the reproduction sexually they will do, or it may have some of the other features with that they will do asexual reproduction. Sexes usually they are united. And they will show an alimentary canal. Alimentary canal is having only one opening, either it may have a mouth and it will have no alimentary canal system as such in this organism. These are the general characteristic feature. The second question is defined canal system. Canal system is present in the porifera, right, through which the water enters inside the organism and it goes out. This is very much important for this organism for exchange of gases and removing the waste products whatever it is producing, and also to capture the food which is coming along with the ingressing water. Here these organisms are having many pores which is present on the surface of the body. That leads to the canal system, and from the canal system it will reach the center spongocoel. From spongocoel the water will go out through a bigger aperture which is present on the top of the organism, which is known as osculum. What are the two different forms of Cnidaria? That was the next question. They are having two forms. One is the sessile form and then other one is the freely swimming form. The sessile form is known as polyp and then the free swimming form is known as medusae. These are two alternate generation these organisms will have. One will be followed by the next. Now we will see the learning objective of today. Today we are going to learn the general characteristic feature of Phylum Aschelminths, Annelida and Arthropoda. First we will start with Aschelminths. In Aschelminths we are going to study the class Nematoda. They are belonging to roundworm category. Before we have seen flatworm, right, dorso-ventrally flattened structure. Here they are cylindrical and roundworm category these organisms are, and these are otherwise known as threadworms. The main characteristic of this organism is they are very long and they are having a cylindrical body structure. So we can see that it is a very long animals and they are having a pseudocoelom, that is a false coelom which is present. A body cavity is present, it is not lined with the mesodermal layer. Then they are having an alimentary canal which is having two ends. So far we did not see any organism which is having two ends. This is the first organism which is having an alimentary canal where mouth and anus is present, and they are present in the opposite orientation. One is present in the anterior end of the body and the other one is present in the posterior end of the body. So we can know that these organisms are having two pores which is present. The sexes are usually separate and males are usually very smaller than the female. Here a diagrammatic representation of the ascaris is given. Can comparatively see that the female worm is little thicker and also longer comparing to that of the male worm. In the female we can see the ovary and also the uterus which is present. But in both the organism we can see mouth, gut and anus which is present, and then in the male we can see the testis which is present. These organisms are parasite or it may be a free living organism. Sometimes it is present inside the host body and it will survive inside. These organisms are very much threatening to many of the countries' public health. Here the examples are ascaris. Ascaris is present in the human intestine and it is a parasite of human. And then next one is pinworm or Wucheria. Wucheria is filarial worm. Usually it will cause elephantiasis. You can see people are having a very big and bulged leg, right? These organisms are living in the lymphatic system which is present in the human body. Now we will see the Phylum Annelida. In Phylum Annelida, earthworms are coming. They are aquatic organism or terrestrial organism, or they are living inside a tubule. They will be forming its own tube inside which they live. Some of the organisms are parasite, and the general characteristic feature is they are elongated and the body is segmented. We can see the earthworm where we can able to see the ring like structures these organisms are having throughout its body. Hence it is known as a segmented body. This is the first organism where a true body cavity is coming. Hence these organisms are known as coelomate, and these are having a coelom which separates the mesoderm into two distinct parts. The coelom is present in the body where it is lined by mesodermal layer, and the entire organism is worm like. We can see this characteristic feature is very common in Annelida. They are having a setae or parapodia, using that these organisms will do walking, it will move around. Hence it is the organ for locomotion. Setae may be very prominently present outside the body. Sometimes you can see it is deeply embedded and a small portion is present outside which is very microscopic. We cannot able to see with our naked eye. Say for an example, in earthworm we cannot able to see setae, but in few of the organism in this category it is having a setae. We will see the example little later. They have a well developed digestive system. Here we have to understand some of the organisms are free living organism, so it has to catch its own prey and from that only it has to digest and take the nutrients out. Hence the digestive system is well developed in this organism. And apart from that, you know about the earthworm is known as the friends of farmer, right? So it will feed on the dead and decayed organic matter which is present on the soil. So when it has to digest the plant material, it has to have a well developed digestive system. Without that it is not possible for the organism to get nutrients out. And these organisms are having a opening which is present on both the ends as in the other Aschelminths. So we can see the mouth and anus present in the organism. Mostly mouth is present in the anterior end and anus is present in the posterior end in this category. And the excretory organ which is present in this earthworm and Annelida, which is known as nephridia. The sexes are usually united, like in earthworm, that is peritemia, or it may be separate as in case of Nereis. And regeneration is one of the important property we can see in this organism. The regeneration is when you are cutting a earthworm into two pieces, the both will survive and it will produce whatever last part it wants. And here the examples are Nereis, peritemia. Peritemia is a free living organism in the soil, that is the earthworm. Then we have Hirudin's leech, and it is a parasite on cattle and also human. And these are some of the example. First one is Nereis, where you can able to see the setae which is present in all the body segment, whereas in the earthworm we cannot see the setae which is present outside, but the segmentation is very prominent in all the organism. The final one is the leech, Hirudinaria. And these are some of the pictures we can able to see clearly how this organism will look. Now we will see about Phylum Arthropoda. In this phylum we have crab, scorpion, insects, all these things, spiders, everything is coming in that category. First we will see the general characteristic feature. The body is segmented and apart from that the body is demarcatedly differentiated into 3 parts. We can able to see head, thorax and abdomen. So, 3 different body parts are well defined in this organism, that is the phylum Arthropoda. Sometimes the head and the thorax combine together, it is fused together, it is forming a single area which is known as cephalothorax. Cephalo means head and it is attached to that of the thorax, the middle part of the body, hence it is known as cephalothorax. They have a joint legs, Arthropoda. From that name itself we will know like they are having a leg which is having so many attachment, and they are having a joint leg that is used mainly for locomotion, but in different organism it is having different functions as well. As in honeybee, it will store the pollen, it will have a pollen basket and pollen brush present in it. So, it has various other functions also. And this leg usually present a pair in some segments, or in all the segments we can able to see a pair of legs these organisms are having. They are having a exoskeleton, that is the protective layer which is present outside the body, which is known as exoskeleton, and this exoskeleton is chitinous in nature and it is made up of cuticle. And they will shed in regular interval, they will remove and then they will rejuvenate by itself, and that is known as molting. Then sexes usually they are separate, and in that we are going to study the various classes. The class Crustacea, Myriapoda, Insecta and Arachnida. We will see the details. In Arachnida, we can able to see the cephalothorax which is present, that is the head and the thorax is combined together, it is forming a single structure which is known as cephalothorax, and it is having many appendages which is present in that region. They are known as chelicerae, that is near the mouth of the organism. Then they are having 3 numbers of pedipalpi, that is the antennae which is present adjacent to that of the head. This is mostly acting as an antenna to sense the environment. Then it is having 4 pairs of walking leg which is present in the cephalothorax region. In class Crustacea, the body is covered with dorsal covering, that is known as carapace. The entire body is having a single large cover they are having. Myriapoda, the main characteristic feature is the body is divided into numerous segments. Then in Insecta, the body is divided into head, thorax and abdomen. The next characteristic feature is this abdomen, usually it is not having a leg in Arachnida because the legs are coming in the cephalothorax region itself. In Crustacea, cephalothorax is with 13 pairs of legs and also some of the appendages. And in Myriapoda, each segment has 1 or 2 pairs of leg, and they are terrestrial and also the air breathing arthropod, so it won't go to the water rich environment at all. Then the Insecta has thorax, it is having 3 segments. All the 3 segments are having 1 pair of legs, so totally 3 pairs of legs present in the Insecta. Usually 2 pairs of wings also these organisms are having, and that is involving in the flight of this organism. Then Arachnida eyes are very simple, whereas in other 3 classes they are having a compound eye. Then the example in Arachnida, example is scorpion, Crustacea prawn is an example, then Myriapoda millipede is an example, then in Insecta cockroach is given as an example. Now we will see the diagram and also the identification feature for this organism. You will get a better clarity in the photos. Now we are coming to the end of this session. We will see the home assignment questions. Explain the appendages in the class Arachnida. What are setae? Differentiate male and female ascaris. With that, we are coming to the end of this session. Hope you understand the video properly. Thank you for watching. Om Sri Sai Ram.